This is a huge win, and we are one step closer to no longer having to pay a tax stamp on suppressors or other NFA items. So the Hearing Protection Act and the SHORT Act are jumbled up into the big, beautiful bill, which sounds like a joke, but it's actually a real thing. But it's this bill that's working its way through the process to be able to get passed as a law. And in that bill is the ability to no longer have to pay tax on suppressors and no longer having to pay a tax on SBRs, which means you no longer have to file a Form 4 or Form 1. You want to ship the suppressors to an SOT. You can just ship it to your FFL, which would be incredibly helpful and also be able to save you guys significant amount of money when having to pay for those dumb things, or honestly getting a lot of people to get suppressors and SBRs, because that tax holds a ton of people up. A lot of people I know personally that refuse to get suppressors or SBRs because of the fact they don't want to pay that $200 tax stamp. So what happened, where we're at, and what can you do about it to make sure this happens? We're going to be going over all that in this video as quick as possible, not to waste time. I pushed this week's video back because that's just a fun video. This is a really important video going over something that we have never been this close to being able to pass this bill, and I want you guys to understand how important this is and how much our voices can be heard to actually make a difference. So this bill passed the House, which means it goes to the next step. Now, the sad thing is the SHORT Act, which allows us to have SBRs, did not pass. That got removed, but it can be added as an amendment of some sort into the bill up at the Senate. So hopefully that happens. If not, one step at a time, and maybe we can get that one up later. But the Hearing Protection Act, which refers to the suppressors, did pass. It passed 215 to 214, so one vote away, but a pass is a pass, right? That's all that matters. What do they call a doctor that barely passed school? Well, he's still a doctor. So now we just need this to pass the Senate, because it sounds like the president is ready to get this through as quick as possible, because there is a lot of other stuff in that bill that they're interested in, but they kind of just throw a bunch of stuff. You know how it goes. They throw a bunch of stuff that they want, and they sprinkle in a couple things that we want. That way we push for it to get through. I wish they'd just separate these things and do them individually, but politics, it's ridiculous. It's a mumbled mess, and unfortunately sometimes this is what you have to do to get things through. Now, something that's kind of rare about this instance is the fact that the NRA, the GOA, and a lot of other people are all on the same page. A lot of the times we're all fighting each other, which doesn't make any sense, and it ends up hurting us in the end, but it seems like everybody's kind of for the same thing in this one, and we're getting some headway. So this is the farthest we've ever been with this, and I don't want to lose that traction that we're gaining, or that momentum, so I really want to make sure that we can do something about it. And that's where people are going to ask me, what can we do? What you can do is you can contact your senators. Call them, email them, anything you can do. Let them know your feelings about this and why you want this passed. Now, don't be goofy and crazy and give them a reason not to listen. Give them an educated response and reason of why we need these. One, it's our God-given right, and we shouldn't have to pay a tax to be able to own something we should be able to have. Two, it's a safety concern. Why should I have to pay a tax to be able to have something being hearing protection for my family or me when I'm out shooting, or if I have to use my firearm in a situation? I shouldn't have to put my family's hearing at risk to be able to protect my family and my own home or any other situation that I might be in. Suppressors should be legal. That's it. It's very simple. So you could use a couple of those reasons, and the fact that we just shouldn't have to pay taxes on things that we can just be able to legally own. This is something they threw on a long time ago, trying to prevent people from getting suppressors, and it worked for a really long time. And it's over, and this is past due. This needs to be done. This is a hearing protection issue, along with the fact that it is just our right. We should be able to own them, and I don't really care if it's a hearing protection thing or anyway. I just want to be able to have my suppressors and not pay a tax on them, just like the rest of you. I shouldn't pay a tax because my rifle's a little bit smaller. But what we can't do is wait for someone else to act for you. The hard part's already been done by the GOA and all these other agencies that have been pushing this and writing the bills up and doing all the fancy attorney stuff that I am not smart enough to do. But what I can do is pick a phone up and dial a couple numbers and tell someone an educated response of why I should have this. So we've got the easy job. Now we just got to stand up and actually do it. This honestly goes to show how much can be accomplished if we don't fight each other and we can stick together as a group and as a community going against, hey, I'm not going to support the NRA because they don't do these things, and the GOA is doing something different, and they're fighting each other and saying one's better than the other. One is probably better than the other. But we can actually stick together and all of us fight a common goal and be able to get these things passed, which is a really good thing. Just this month, I have paid over $1,000 in taxes and fees just associated with the suppressors that I'm getting in to test and review. That is crazy. That is not even included the actual cost of the suppressors. That is just the taxes and fees for me to apply to get these suppressors. Let that sink in for a second. Over $1,000 in tax, not including my property taxes and my income taxes and my other taxes, sales taxes, everything else that I'm paying for. That is wild to me, and this is just one step closer to hopefully being able to eliminate that. Real quickly before we continue, it's really hard to find brands that align with your morals and support the things that you want to support. Well, there's a couple brands that support me a ton and help the things that we do here, and I would love for you guys to check out. Stopbox, 1775 Coffee, Neomag, and Vertex. These guys are incredible, and I think you guys will like what you see. Check out the description for more information on those along with my website. Let's get right back into the video. Now, if you've been a viewer of mine for a while, you know that my channel doesn't really evolve around political things and updates, but it's incredibly important for us to be able to talk about these things and spread the information, even if we don't do those. Yes, I know you probably wanted to see a gun review or something else that I do, and maybe a cool build that we're doing, and those will come. I push those videos back to next week. This is more important to get out right away so we can get this passed. Then, guess what? We can do even cooler builds and guns because we can have SBRs and suppressors and all the other things. So as cool as it is, and I know some of you might have skipped away from this video because you're like, well, it's not a gun build or a gun review like you normally do. It's really important that we all stand up as a community and we discuss these things. We talk about these things. These all affect each and every one of us in this community. So I want to be able to spread that information. So I apologize for those of you that really want to see one of my normal videos, but those will come back. I'm gonna post them again this weekend and next week. It's not a problem, but this is really important to get posted right now because it's happening now and we can actually do something about it. So stand up, call your senators, and let's get this thing passed. If you're looking to help out the channel and things I do here a little bit more, going to my website, link in the description, along with a bunch of other my links that we do, like my Telegram and all my other channels, following all them. It's incredibly helpful. Check out Howitzer Clothing. They donate 5% of proceeds to charity, and they have a tactical visor shirt, which is right here, and I'd love for you guys to pick one up as well. It should be linked somewhere here at the bottom too. I always like to end on a Bible verse. I've been studying Matthew again, and there's just a lot of really good verses in this to choose from, but we're going to be going Matthew 4:19, and he said to them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And God calls us to be fishers of men, and that is something I intend to do. If you have any questions, I would love to help you. I'd love to share with you. It's so important to get into the Bible, put that suit of armor on, not only defensively, but offensively. He speaks to us through this book. It's so important to read it. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.